Hello everybody, my name is Alex. I am the writer of Turmoil, and like I said in my blog, I'm going to be doing a reading of my story. And also, this story is a sequel to LeMu's Discovery, which should be read before this story, but it doesn't really need to be, but I prefer that you did. And also, after I'm done with the reading of my story, I'm going to be doing a reading of LeMu's story, Discovery. And without further ado, let's just hop right into it with Turmoil Chapter 1. Rarity awoke with the sun beaming in through the windows and illuminating the blue Pegasus feather lying on the table. She sighed as she thought of Rainbow Dash. "Oh, Rainbow, you're such an amazing man," she thought to herself, but this is all so new. She let the thought teeter at the back of her mind as she pulled herself out of bed and trotted into the bathroom and began to get ready for the day. After washing up, she walked downstairs and was greeted by Opalescence. "Opal, how are you doing today?" she asked. Opal, as per normal, didn't look up from the paw she was licking. "Oh, I'm just so confused with everything. I do love Rainbow, and I know I will never leave her, but I don't know if I'll ever be able to tell Aunt Pony how I really feel about her." Rainbow Dash's eyes fluttered open as she looked out of the window to her bedroom, where Rarity's house was, and she let out a sigh of content. "I can't wait to see Rare. Last night was so awesome," she said as she walked downstairs and got out Celestia O's for her breakfast. She poured out her cereal and began to eat. She looked around at her house and she suddenly thought, "Oh crud, I'll have to move out of here if I ever move in with Rarity. Oh well, she's more than worth it." She left the house and began to walk to Rarity's, thinking about how much fun it was going to be, especially when she was able to tell her friends about her new mare friend. Rarity was just finishing her breakfast as she heard a knock on the door, and she began to smile, because she already knew who it was and she was not to be disappointed. She opened the door and she was greeted by Rainbow Dash's smiling face, but the part she couldn't stop staring at were those eyes. Oh, how she loved her eyes, the dark, deep, safe pools of magenta that they were. "Hi, Rarity," exclaimed Rainbow Dash as she leaned in for a kiss. "Good morning, Dashy," replied Rarity as she leaned in too, more than happy to return the offer. It wasn't a very long kiss, more of a peck on the cheek, but it still showed their newfound love clearly. Rainbow felt ecstatic as they broke apart, thinking, "I'm so happy that she feels the same way about me. It's my dream come true." Rarity, on the other hand, thought, "She's so perfect. I really do love her. I just don't know what every pony will think." "So, who should we tell first?" Rainbow asked. "Wait, what do you mean tell?" asked Rarity with a hint of panic in her voice. "About us, silly. Why would we tell anyone?" "Why wouldn't she asked, finally understanding something was wrong. "Well, our friends probably won't like us anymore, not to mention our families. Plus," said Rarity, but she was cut off by Rainbow, who said, "What do you mean they won't like us anymore? They're our closest set of friends, and they've always cared about us. This won't change a thing." "How could this not change things? You know how most ponies feel about this kind of relationship nowadays." "It might change things, but it doesn't mean they won't accept us for our feelings. They're our friends, and they'll accept us no matter what. You know that." "No, I don't. Neither do you. Maybe they're filly foolish, too." "Rainbow!" shouted Rarity, feeling awkward since she had used that term. "What, that's what we are, isn't it?" "Well, yes, but I always thought of that as more of a condescending thing to say to ponies like us." "I see it as something to be proud of, something that makes us different," said Rainbow in her confident voice. "Oh," Rarity let herself relax and began to think that maybe Rainbow was right, but how could she ever tell her friends to be able to look them in the eyes again? Seeing how set up Rarity was, she walked up to her and pulled her in a tight embrace and just held her as she began to cry. "Rainbow, I'm just so lost. I do love you, but I don't want the world to judge me because of the way I feel about you," Rarity said between sobs. "It's just so new and so different to me." "Rarity, if you don't want to tell them, you don't have to. It's your choice, whatever makes you feel happiest," said Rainbow Dash with love in her voice. Rarity stood there and thought for some time as Rainbow waited patiently for her decision. I think we should tell them," said Rarity in a voice that would rival Fluttershy's. "Really?" "Oh yeah," yelled Rainbow Dash. "Yes, really," Rarity said in that same squeak, causing Rainbow to realize how scared she really was. "Don't worry, Rarity. I'll be right there beside you the whole time." At this, Rarity perked up slightly, but still felt scared. "Oh, darling, I know how that I'm so scared, just about what every pony will say about us." "Well, no matter what they say, we have each other," said Rainbow compassionately. The last thing Rarity needed to hear, because after Rainbow said it, she leaned in and kissed her, and she held the embrace for a long time, and then slowly pulling away, Rarity said, "I love you, Dashy." "Love you too, Rare," replied Rainbow. "Well, now that we're going to tell them, how should we go about it?" asked Rarity, now much less afraid than she had been earlier. "I think we should tell them all separately, so that way it's not super awkward with all of them there at once, you know?" "That's just what I was thinking. thought Rarity. Then she said, "Oh, that sounds like a wonderful idea, darling." "Well, it's settled then. Who should we tell first, family or friends?" "Most definitely friends," replied Rarity. "Well," Rainbow asked, "which of them should be first?" Said Rarity. What?" asked Rainbow. "I think we should tell Twilight first." "Why her?" "She's the least likely pony I can think of that would gossip." "Oh, well, first stop Twilight's," they screamed as she raced off past Ponyville towards Twilight's house. "This is going to put years on my coat. After today, I'm most likely going to need a spa day soon," sighed Rarity as she trotted off in the direction Rainbow had flown.